He's won in LMP2, he's won in TransAm 2, he's won in late models, he's won in MX5 Cup, and he almost won on his ARCA debut. He's a recently signed development driver for Trackhouse Racing, and he's done all of this at the tender age of 17. He is Connor Zilisch, and I am pleading with whoever watches this vid to remember this guy's name if this is the first time you've ever heard it, because something tells me you'll be hearing it for a while. But intern, all those things he listed, how has he already done all of those things in all of those cars at just the age of 17? Well, let's find out. Now, firstly, Connor's actually been racing since the age of 5 thanks to karting, and it was obvious he was a potential superstar in racing when he became the first American to win the CIK FIA Karting Academy trophy. And please keep in mind, he did this in 2020. I'm recording this video in 2024. Connor went from karts to cars in the next year of his career, as he would race in SCCA Miatas. After doing well in the MX5 Cup shootout, he would use that prize money to continue in MX5 Cup racing. I think the best way to explain what makes this guy so great is to look specifically at some of his best drives throughout his career. Since I've already spoken about MX5, let's stay there for a bit and go back to last year's round at Road Atlanta. During the closing stages of race 1 that weekend, Connor found himself in the lead, going down the backstretch with his old MX5 Cup title rival from 2022, Jared Thomas, and Tyler Gonzalez, both hunting him down. And this was the last lap, mind you. Both of them used the draft to get by Zilisch going into the turn 10 chicane, but little did they know that Connor was about to pull a blinder on them. Doing his best through goes Hamilton impression, Connor went on the brakes early and pulls off this amazing switchback, retaking the lead using the grip around the outside, and crossed the checkered flag in P1. Outside of MX5s, Connor would also get a taste of American muscle, racing and winning a pro late model race, as well as making starts in the Cars Tour late model stock series. Connor's other taste of American muscle will be the second showcase of talent that I'm going to show you in this video, TransAm. Connor took TransAm by storm in 2023, winning on his debut in the top flight of the series at VIR, while going on an absolute dominant winning streak in the second tier of the series, TA2. Of Connor's wins in TA2 last year, none come close to his absolute masterclass around the streets of Nashville. After scoring pole for the race, a restrictor plate infringement saw him disqualified from qualifying and forced to start the race from the rear. Connor would be up against some tough competition in this race too, in the form of experienced NASCAR talents like Dean Thompson, Jade Buford, and Thad Moffitt, and even Trackhouse founder Justin Marks. From 34th on the grid, Connor would be as high as P27 by the end of just lap 1. A restart on lap 9 saw Connor make a huge send around the outside of multiple cars, gaining a handful of spots. He'd also get by Justin Marks after a brief battle. Connor would continue to climb spots until another restart would see him all the way in P5. A huge dive down Jade Buford's inside would turn that P5 into P4. From there, Connor would continue to pick drivers off one by one before finally taking the lead and going on to take victory from P34 on the grid. In 2023, Connor would also drive modern stock cars, making his debut in the ARCA Menards series at the General Tire 100 at Watkins Glen, driving this, the number 28 Chevrolet for Pinnacle Racing Group. He qualified on the front row alongside Cup Series regular Corey LaJoie, but he would take the lead in short order, making a clean pass early down the inside at turn 1. From there, Connor would put down another masterclass far beyond his years. He'd pull out a huge lead, and despite multiple restarts, he would hold his own for the entire race. However, a wrench would be thrown into his plans when around 14 to go, Connor's car began visibly sparking. Not only that, but the timing tower revealed that Jesse Love and Brent Cruz were closing in on him. Replays revealed that this was due to a broken sway bar, which may have been damaged as he went over the bus stop chicane. However, as the laps passed by, instead of losing time, Connor began pulling away from P2 and P3 despite the sway bar still rubbing against the track. Connor would actually survive for the remainder of the race, keeping the lead on a late restart, before eventually coming up short at the very last corner after a shower of rain, where Love was able to sneak past him and snatch the win away. Once again, another drive by Zilisch that wowed the world. Come 2024, Trackhouse made the announcement that Connor would be signed onto their team as a developmental driver, with starts planned for him in a myriad of series like Cars Tour, ARCA, Xfinity, and Trucks. In January 2024, Connor would face his biggest challenge yet, the Rolex 24. And he wouldn't be racing in a GT3 car or a car similar to what he's been driving so far in his career. Oh no, the 17-year-old would be behind the wheel of an LMP2 car. Connor was signed on to drive the number 18 Oreca LMP2 car for Era Motorsport for not just Daytona, but the Michelin endurance leg of the IMSA Championship. The 18 car would stand firm as a contender for the class win as the race went into its second half, but the most impressive part of Zilich's race came around the 6-hour 30-minute mark when he found himself defending his class lead from the 04 driven by Malte Jakobsen, a junior driver for Peugeot's hypercar team. Despite the pressure, Zilisch put on a defensive masterclass to keep the 20-year-old behind him. The highlight of the duel came when Zilisch was trying to hold off Jakobsen after he got a brilliant exit off of turn 6. Jakobsen seemed poised to make a move, but Zilisch would use the Iron Dames Lamborghini GT3 car ahead of Malte to trap him on the inside lane, forcing him to yield and gifting Connor an even bigger lead than he had before, and he maintained this lead until both cars pit a few laps later. From there, the 18 car would go on to win the race, making Connor the second youngest driver ever to win the Rolex 24. Safe to say, the sky really is the limit for Connor in my opinion. With his talent, it's as if he can dictate his career already just at his young age. If he wants a career in sports cars, he already has a rollie on his wrist. Something in NASCAR? Look at his Watkins Glen debut. GT racing? If his TransAm efforts are anything to go by, he'll kill it. Or maybe he'll shock everyone and just spend his entire career in the MX-5 Cup forever. He's still trying to get that Daytona win after all. Connor Zilisch is easily the most impressive 17-year-old in racing since defending Formula 1 champ Max Verstappen. To do this well in all these types of cars at his age is simply surreal, and there was no way I wasn't gonna make a video on it. If you were sleeping on Connor Zilisch before this video, stop. And if you still are after watching this video, it doesn't really matter, because he's probably gonna wake you up himself. My name is Intern, I talk wheel, and thanks for watching.